VR gaming. I'm dizzy. Let me spin the other one. VR gaming is dope. Hi, my name is Brandon, otherwise known as Beaks in the VR community, and I'm here to talk about VR. VR gaming, without a doubt, is the future of gaming. But in that statement right there, we already have a problem. Because, I mean, it exists right now. It's in my hands, but it just doesn't seem like the future. If you own a VR gaming headset, then you'll know this feeling. You'll know the feeling of getting some of the coolest experiences that just kind of takes your breath away. And you just stand there in awe, like, how can a game just offer this to you? But oh no, wait, the game just ends right there, and it's over, and you're just left with the question, that's it? So what do? You end up going back onto Steam, browsing the store, looking for another VR game to give you this feeling again. And then you just come to realize there's only about 10 big VR games, 2 of which you already fucking bought and played, Bethesda. And you're either just stuck, just playing a multiplayer VR game, or just going back to regular desktop gaming. And you can't go back to the old games you already played because, like Black Tar Heroin, it's just not as good as the first time. And it really sucks because, I mean, the future is literally in our grasp, but I think it's because of the game selection. You don't see people flocking towards Best Buy to go pick themselves up a headset, but no, they still want to talk about the PS5 and Xbox whatever, even though the current consoles, compared to the previous, it was a fucking letdown. Like, I have some great memories with the collection of games on the PS3, such as Skate 3, Battlefield 3, all of the good Call of Duty games, Sly Cooper, Last of Us. But what classics came out of the PS4, you asked? Oh yeah, Jack Dick. And I'm only talking about this because I believe the games is just as important to a gaming platform as much as the hardware, maybe even more. And people are so ready and excited to pour more money into the next gen of consoles, but not something like VR that can quite literally blow out any game if they made a VR equivalent.
Yes, sir. I ain't playing game. Oh, is there basketball? You know, I have to. Oh!
And regular gaming nowadays kinda sucks. I mean, experiences don't feel new anymore, and games seem designed and made to waste my time. You have to be rank 52, which means you have to grind these GTA bum-ass missions. $3,000. You only pay $3,000. Why did they make it? How come they didn't just make this more expensive and money harder to get? It's only $3,000, but this mechanic won't give it to me because I'm not a thug enough. I'm thug right now, but I'm not mafia boss, so I can't have this Snoop Dogg fucking exhaust. And it's a perfect time for VR to swoop in and steal regular gaming's hoe. You're the hoe, me too. But I believe it's the lack of player base that keeps companies hesitant to put a lot of resources in to make an expansive VR game. VR has caught themselves in this cycle where it just simply goes, there's not a lot of money in the VR industry. VR companies and developers make a cheap and safe game, and it causes a low player fan base. And this cycle just goes on and on and on, and it just kind of hurts everyone at the end of the day. So what should VR developers do to break this cycle and bring more people into VR? Well, in the art of business, and you see time and time again, for VR to make this big breakthrough, they're just gonna have to grow some fucking nuts and go all in. They gotta make the first move to break the cycle and create a whole new one. But you gotta bring some big guns to the dinner table. Like, I wanna see big map battles such as old Battlefield games. I wanna see NPC characters in the flesh rather than just some fucking guy in my ear all the time. I want to see multiplayer games that are physics-based, like in Boneworks with ragdolls, and I can maybe like grab my friend's hand and help him up a ledge, Uncharted 2 style. Give me a female protagonist with some double D's and no bra, so every time I jump, they smack me in my forehead. VR gaming is in its Wild West form right now, so there's no real wrong answer for these games, and you have all of these VR headsets out there hungry for that shot of heroin. VR gaming is on the rise right now with the help of the Oculus Quest and PSVR making VR more affordable. You have games like Boneworks and HalfLife Alex being the poster child for VR. And you even have content creators using VR for new ways of content, but also secretly being VR Mormons. More people every day are getting into VR, but it's up to the games to keep them playing. But the current formula, in my opinion, for VR games is not making the cut. And the current formula seems to be pick one mechanic, maybe two if you're feeling a little naughty, and have that based around your entire game. And you see it a lot. To explain this further, let's look at a game that I recently played. You might have heard of it, called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I'm just going to list what the player does physically. Assassin's Creed gives you swordplay and archery with stealth mechanics, you have climbing, you have ship battles, and you have RPG decisions with a little crafting and resource management. And you do all of this in a big open world set in ancient Greece, and the game does a good job to give you the freedom to do whatever you want. All these mechanics are jammed together in one game to give the player a lot of options to enjoy themselves. But to find a VR game to try and recreate Assassin's Creed, you end up having to Frankenstein and stitch together multiple VR games just to even have something on that level. Like Blade and Sorcery can be the swordplay and archery, climbing can be from climbing, stealth can be taken from Espire 1 or budget cuts, naval combat can be that one pirate game nobody knows the name of, and the RPG decisions with crafting and resource management can be taken from Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. These VR games, don't get me wrong, are really fun, and for what they have, they do a great job because they were built up from the ground in VR, but I believe they lack that amazement that really sticks to players and keep them playing for a long period of time.
Y'all don't got power like me. Break you back like a close.
And even with the best VR games that are out right now, which I would say is Boneworks, and even though I didn't enjoy it as much, HalfLife Alex, with their strong linearity to their single player, it kind of kills replayability and makes the player feel a little cramped. Boneworks though gets a minor exception because they do have more weapons than 3, and they also include the Sandbox mode, which I would say some people could agree with me that the Sandbox mode can be more enjoyable than the actual single player because it encourages the player to try new things.
Like the fact I just did that is insane in VR, bro. Like I did that smooth. And look, now I'm on top of here. Now I can do some Assassin's Creed shit or whatever the fuck I want to do. Can I not put this on my back? Look how sweet I look with the
But just imagine with me if the single player took place in the sandbox and just close your eyes and like stitch together your perfect game. Maybe it's a zombie game where you have to look for parts in the suburbs and you need to keep your car running because the zombies are just way too fast. Maybe you're in a gang in Japan or Korea and where beefs are settled with your fists or blunt objects and you gotta restore honor into the gang and you have to fight enemies with different fighting styles, and maybe with a little extra sprinkle of story on top, you're also trying to become a professional fighter.
Oh my god. I need to sit down. Oh my... I'm not in shape like this. I dropped him, but I feel like he beating my ass because how tired I am. Oh, coach, bro, help me, bro. Stop cheering me. I need help. Tell me something. Hurt you, didn't I? Ah. I looked at the clock, and I still weaved your ass. Oh, I'm about to throw up. Okay, I'm about to throw up. God, I can't hit his face for shit. My arms just... too tired. Come on. Come on. Broken nose, huh? Can you breathe? I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tell me.
going to the scorecards, the
Tell me.
judges have determined by unanimous decision,
Oh.
your winner is the red corner.
Yes! I'm a world champ. I'm a world champ.
I know I'm asking for a lot, and the average family PC would probably have to look like this for a company to even think about making a game this size, but there's this game called Jet Island that checks almost every box. You have a good set of toys to play around with, such as the friction board, the grapple guns, the wrist boosters, and plenty of other upgrades that you can find throughout the map. But Jet Island also takes place in this amazing open world that you're quite literally just thrown into. Literally, in the beginning of the game, they say defeat the beast and reclaim the island, and you're just left with that. You, the player, have to figure it out on your own, and that's amazing. And there's plenty of obstacles and collectibles that aren't even near the main objective, and you have to do your due diligence to go find them. And my god, the feeling of seeing something crazy in the distance and then having to find the best route to get there, and you finally get there and it's dope as shit, is one of the coolest feelings you can get in VR.
Okay. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done.
And And this game was made by one guy. And yes, it kind of looks like ding-a-ling with these Tesla truck corners, but it's actually accented really nice with the overall style, great music, and smooth gameplay. It's, dare I say, at times beautiful.
Damn. Why did he die in this position?
And I feel like the community is with me on this, looking at the reviews. But of course, the actual lack of story and interactable world objects, and there only being a few enemies, kind of makes this game feel like a one and done type of feel. But nothing changes it from being a very fun game. I mean, just well done, Eric.
Why are you making that noise? Wait, did I kill him? What? Bro! 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 Oh! Jesus!
So I'm doing a lot of talking about how other VR games sucks, but what could actually be the formula? Well, in my opinion, the formula should definitely just be an open world sandbox, and scale is a big key because, like I said before, exploration and discovery is super important. You would also need interactable world objects to try and make this world you've made feel real, and you need a lot of toys as the player to kind of play around with, a lot of game mechanics to try and keep you feeling like you belong in this world as well. And a big kicker here is the freedom of choice. So you're not just stuck down these linear mission paths like Red Dead 2. And a lot of great game ideas can be easily thought of by just simply saying, insert your favorite game title here and in VR. And you already see some developers do this, such as Fallout 4 and Skyrim, even though you fucking bought it and played it already. And The Forest and No Man's Sky, especially No Man's Sky. I really recommend that. These games are really cool because they give some of your favorite games a new perspective, and they give you this open world sandbox because it's been already made for a regular desktop game. But with some of these games, they either lack that good story and human connection, and these are VR ports. They haven't been built up from the ground in VR, so they do kind of feel a bit wonky at times, and I believe it's kind of off-putting to some players.
What the fuck?
How the hell you jump?
I just walked forward.
Bro, like, how do
we
I
need a keypad or something.
Oh, is this...
Just walk up right here.
You don't see me walking up? Get on, bro.
Is there how to jump?
Kinda.
Oh my god!
What?
Use
What?
your keyboard.
Are you serious? I'm trying to use my keyboard.
You need to!
And I still have nightmares from these fucking menus sometimes. I know it's an RPG, but damn. But all in all, VR is just the most immersive way to play games, and it just changes the way you think because it's just the perfect escape sometimes. And even right now, I cannot recommend VR enough. It'll always continually get better because while other games compete with other games, VR competes with real life, and unless we're in the Matrix, it'll always get better. I just hope they go down the right path. I didn't mean to sound like a whiny crybaby begging developers to make good games, but it's just VR has helped me through some tough times, and I know it probably helped others out there as well, because VR is really the only true way to just take a piece out of your time and transfer your eyes and hands into this completely different new world. And I just don't want to see VR fall into this gimmick stigma that it already has. And a message to companies and developers out there, there's a lot of potential money to be made, but we'll just have to see what awaits us in the future. And me especially, I'm very excited to see what's to come. And I'll definitely make more videos about VR because there's plenty of stuff to talk about, because it is quite literally a whole new frontier. And we'll just have to wait and see, and I'll be here to talk about it in the future. And with that, thank you for watching.
But Aventus Oratino walks a dark path.
Oh, God.
His actions can
Take too long. What's this way gonna do? Damn, I see that back. I see that wagon you be sporting. God
Huh?
damn.